K-dramas are renowned for their emotional roller coasters, which include love, drama, and heartache. However, what occurs when the drama veers into emotional abuse, jealousy, and manipulation? Relationships that are not only troublesome, but outright toxic are depicted in certain K-dramas. This video is for you if you've ever been cheering for a couple only to discover that there are many problems with their love story. We're going to examine 5 highly problematic K-dramas today that you shouldn't enjoy. We are drawn into the romantic, heartbreaking, and dramatic world of K-dramas. However, occasionally, the romantic tales they depict are far from wholesome. Some K-dramas go beyond all boundaries of what is appropriate in romantic relationships, from emotional abuse to manipulation and envy. We're examining 5 highly problematic K-dramas in greater detail today. These dramas have prompted discussions and raised eyebrows among fans, whether it is because of poisonous relationships, unhealthy power conflicts, or plain abusive behavior. Now, let's explore the negative aspects of these well-liked programs. Initially, we have So I Married an Anti-Fan. The secondary relationship between JJ and In Hyung is what really raises concerns, even though the main romance between Ho Jun and Lee Gyun Young has its ups and downs. Hwang Chan-sung portrays JJ, the CEO of a talent agency who is bitterly against his old friend Ho Jun. JJ keeps In Hyung near out of possessiveness rather than true love, rather than to help her in her job. He even restricts her options out, of concern that she would run into Ho Jun once more. In addition to impeding Hyung's career advancement, this keeps her in a vicious circle of emotional dependence. In turn, Hyung finds herself torn between her poisonous relationship with JJ and her past with Ho Jun. Jealousy, control, and manipulation, all hallmarks of an abusive relationship, define their dynamic. JJ frequently puts his own fears ahead of In Hyung's welfare, engaging in possessive behavior that is detrimental to both of them. While Hyung feels imprisoned and undervalued, she tries to establish her own identity outside of this oppressive relationship as JJ utilizes his influence and authority to manipulate her. This type of relationship serves as a warning about the perils of giving in to possessiveness and jealousy, which can result in a poisonous cycle from which it can be challenging to break free. Following that is Tempted, which is also referred to as The Great Seducer. This drama, which draws inspiration from the French novel Les Liaisons Dangereuses, is rife with drama, poisonous relationships, and passionate seduction. Woo Do-hwan portrays Kwon Shi-hyun, the stereotypical playboy who views life as a game, at the heart of the story. 20-year-old Tae-hee thinks that those who are swayed by love are just pitiful and hates the thought of giving in to love. Hyun intends to make her fall deeply in love with him, only to let her down. However, as Shi-hyun starts to feel genuine feelings for Tae-hee, what initially begins as a friendly wager swiftly transforms into something more. But the foundation of their relationship is deceit and manipulation, which is already a serious warning sign. There is no denying this relationship's toxicity. Even when Shi-hyun's feelings turn out to be sincere, the foundation of dishonesty erodes their mutual confidence because he begins everything with malicious purpose. Despite having a compelling plot and interesting characters, Tempted serves as a warning on the perils of establishing a romantic relationship based on deceit and manipulation. It's an obvious illustration of how a relationship may turn toxic when there is a lack of mutual respect and honesty. We'll now discuss Young Lady and Gentleman. Because it depicted a romance with a large age difference, this drama generated a lot of discussion among fans. The protagonists of the tale are Park Dan-dan, portrayed by Lee Si-hee, an independent woman in her early 20s, and Lee Young-kook, portrayed by Ji-hyun-woo, a single parent in his 40s. The issue started when the drama included a flashback that depicted the two characters' first encounter. Even though many viewers were okay with the age difference because both characters are adults, many people felt uneasy about this discovery since it gave an otherwise decent relationship a sinister undertone. The connection started when Dan-dan was still a teenager, so it's not simply the age difference that's problematic here. The flashbacks backstory casts doubt on the drama's attempt to present their relationship as a mutually agreeable affair between two adults. Significant age differences in partnerships may also be perceived differently in South Korea than in other countries, due to cultural differences, as some viewers noted. Nevertheless, introducing an early contact in which one of the characters was underage adds a problematic element that is difficult to ignore, regardless of cultural conventions. In summary, Young Lady and Gentleman aims to depict a romance between two people who are very different in age, but the flashback that shows their first encounter when Dan Dan was just 13 clouds the connection. Next up is the drama True Beauty, which gained a lot of admirers thanks to its blend of humor, romance, and deeper topics. The narrative centers on Lim Joo Kyung, a high school student who learns to apply makeup expertly in order to cover up her vulnerabilities after being teased for her appearance. Even though the love triangle is a major theme, a lot of fans have expressed worry over the male character's troubling actions. However, the wicked kid with a tender heart, Han Seo-jun, also demonstrates dubious actions. Despite his protective and compassionate nature, he occasionally uses intrusive language while expressing his emotions. In several situations, he disregards Joo-kyung's personal boundaries and approaches her in ways that make her feel uneasy. Furthermore, his jealousy of Soo-ho and his determination to compete for Joo-kyung, despite being aware of her genuine affections, betray a lack of regard for her feelings and choices. Even Joo-kyung herself receives criticism. In conclusion, even if True Beauty deftly examines issues like beauty standards, self-worth, and the difficulties of adolescent relationships, it's important to acknowledge and consider the harmful behaviors that are displayed. Last but not least is the drama Nevertheless, which generated a lot of debate since it depicted a complex and frequently poisonous relationship. The show centers on Yoon Ah-bi and Park Jae-eon, two university students studying the arts, as they develop a passionate but turbulent relationship. The two are instantly attracted to one another, but their connection soon reveals itself to be more motivated by want than sincere affection. The absence of clear communication is one of the primary issues in this relationship. Because Jae-eon keeps his feelings and intents to himself, Nabi is never sure where she sits in his life. Nabi feels caught between doubt and desire as a result of this ambiguity, which leads to an imbalanced power dynamic. Nabi is perplexed by this contradiction and is trapped in a destructive cycle of hope and disappointment. These 5 K-dramas go beyond all boundaries of what is appropriate in romantic relationships, from emotional abuse to manipulation and envy. Which one most surprised you? Tell us in the comments section below. Remember to hit the bell symbol to ensure you never miss an update, like this video, and subscribe for more K-dramatic material. We appreciate your time and hope to see you in the next video.